Hey, look at that. Lucky you. You get two videos today. Okay, so I was thinking that okay, so I recorded the other video right around the middle of the day, right? And right now I'm already at night. You can tell by the lighting in my room because this one's artificial and you know, before I had the window open. Um right, so what I wanted to talk about today, right, is an idea that I had for a show. Okay? Now, I I've listened all my life. I've listened to many different music artists, right? But one of my favorite artists since since I was a kid, um, I've inherited it from my father, are the Beatles. The Beatles are absolute cinema. Uh, and the thing is, they make music, right? Every song that they make, not every single one, but most songs that they make are sort of like a story, right? Sort of like telling a small, uh, fairy tale or small uh, children's book type of story, right? Um, while you when you listen to other music from other artists, you realize that most of their songs don't really have any story in them. They mostly convey a message, but not a story, right? So, for example, I don't know. I don't really. I don't know right now what song to mention, but if you think about how many songs actually have a story that you can tell, right, from start to end, right? So this guy met this guy, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then the end of the story, right? Most songs don't do that, but most of the Beatles songs do that, right? They do have a story. And so I think that an idea that I had a long time ago was to actually make a series that was made of short episodes, right? And each episode was a story based on a song. It didn't necessarily have to be from the Beatles. I'm just telling you this story to so that you understand where I got the idea, right? Because the idea came to me when listening to the Beatles songs that have actual stories in them, most of them, and the idea was basically that, right? You have a bunch of short episodes, right? And each episode basically shows you visually an adaptation into, well, TV or basically cinematography um, of the story that's told in the song, right? And I guess you could make the title of each episode the same as the song. For example, that could be a good idea. The thing is, I don't really know what the show would be called because it would have to be a really generic name, and I don't like generic names in general. I don't vibe with them. Like I don't really know what the name would be of the show in general, but definitely the episodes would be, I don't know, maybe like 10 to 20 minutes. 10 minutes more like. And I guess you could tell like a small story. For example, I don't know. For example, the song Rocky Raccoon by the Beatles, right? It tells a story about a kid that his girlfriend cheats on him, basically, and runs off with another guy. And then this young kid, Rocky Raccoon, goes and, gets a gun and goes to threaten the other guy. This is like sort of based in the Wild West. At least that's the idea, I think, because the song is sort of like American type song, right? Like country. It sort of imitates a country song. So I believe it's sort of supposed to be based in a Wild West type scenario, right? And so this guy, Rocky Raccoon, goes and follows the couple, gets a gun, and then he gets a room in the same motel as the couple, right? And then they fight, they have a showdown, right? And then they shoot, and Rocky Raccoon loses, right? He gets shot, he retreats to his room, basically defeated, right? The doctor comes and tells him that basically he got fucked and he lost. And then Rocky Raccoon basically tries to deny it and tries to convince himself that it's not over, that it's never over, and he will win eventually, right? In another fight or in another. And that's basically the story, right? The story is a guy that fails to accept defeat, right? And is basically like sort of obsessed with this girl that he lost, and he lost to a better man, basically, right? A better man than him, not because not morally or anything. I mean, we don't really know the morals of the protagonists, but we do know that the other guy is faster, and if he won the girl, then presumably more handsome and more. Anyways, the point is that this song is really easily adaptable to a small episode of a series. You couldn't make a movie out of it because you don't really have enough context. You'd have to make up a lot of context for the movie to actually have substantial content. But the short episode format is actually a really good idea, I think, for this kind of song story, right? Short stories that don't really have a lot of content but convey a strong message, right? And I think it would be a really good idea. One problem that I can imagine this show might have, quite obviously, I would say, is the problem to do with copyright. Now, how would you deal with that? Because it's not the same as buying the right to play a song in a movie, right? That's really easy. You just contact whoever owns the rights in that moment, and you pay a small amount of money so that you can play that song in your movie, right? That's easy. But this isn't really that. It's more like artistic rights, right? It's not just the right to play the song in your movie, it's the right to use the story for yourself, right? The story that the song tells. So I think that would be probably the biggest problem with this idea, because I don't think it's ever been done, so I don't really know if there's a precedent, right? Something that happened before that you can use to say, oh, well, this is like the standard, this is the way that it's going to work. I think you'd have to basically invent a new format. And it's probably going to be really expensive, because, if you're using really famous songs, you have to keep in mind you have to pay the artist for the rights of every single episode needs to be a new right that you have to buy. It's not like a movie. A movie has, if you have to buy the rights, for example, if you're doing a movie adaptation of a book, you have to buy the rights for that book once, for that entire movie. But for a series, each episode, each 10-minute episode is going to be a new right that you have to buy for a new song, right? So I think I foresee that that would be a really critical problem with the idea for that show. Um, Other than that, I mean, I don't really think the idea has any other flaws. I mean, other than, the pretty obvious one. Um, so I think, honestly, um, I think that the show could be a really good idea. I don't have the resources or the determination right now to pursue this, but it would actually be one of my dreams, I think, to do this in the future. Um, I think, honestly, out of all the ideas that I've presented on this series, the Daily Thoughts series, I think this one's one of my favorites, honestly. Um, it, an idea that seems like really stupid. Maybe not stupid, but really like not like a big idea. It's a small idea, but it's a good idea, I think. It would have a format similar to how, I don't know, for example, which shows Black Mirror, for example. Black Mirror uses the type of format that I think this show would fit in. Um, Although Black Mirror has like sort of short movies for episodes, so I guess not really. Mm, it would be sort of like a Black Mirror, but with shorter episodes, right? 10-minute episodes, and a bit more episodes in each season. Um, but you know how when you watch Black Mirror, no episode has anything to do with any other previous episode or any other episode in the series, and it's basically they all follow like the same theme, right? Of sort of sci-fi type stories, right? But they don't have anything to do with each other. In fact, I think they're all directed even by different directors. So they're all sort of completely different. So I think that type of format would fit perfectly for a show like this, right? You have even different directors or different screenwriters for each episode, and you just choose a song from an artist that you think has a story that has substance to it, and you create like a short 10 minute or maybe 10 to 20 minutes, let's say, for to give creative liberty to the screenwriter and the director. Let's say a 10 to 15 minute or 10 to 20 minute episode that's sort of like a short movie that tries to convey as purely as possible the story that the song um, tells you. And I think that would be a really good idea, honestly. Like, I'm actually really proud of this idea. If anyone sees this and wants to go and persecute it, I am not going to copyright this or anything, so go right ahead if you want to do it. I'm probably never going to do it. I might do it in the future if I'm like rich and I have a lot of free time and I can do it. I wish, but I'm probably not gonna be able to do this ever. Um, so yeah, I'm actually really proud of this idea. So this is one of my favorites. But yeah. Anyways, that was the whole video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm having a lot of fun today recording videos. I didn't expect to be having this much fun because I have a lot of things going on right now with exams. Next week's the exam week for my for one of the things that I'm studying. So I'm actually stressed and pretty discombobulated mentally. But these videos are actually being quite fun to record, so I'm actually enjoying them. So yeah. Anyways, guys, see you tomorrow when I upload another video. I don't really know anymore if I'm going to upload daily video. I mean, daily thought video, or a maybe a generic video for the channel. I don't really know anymore, but but yeah. See you tomorrow. I am going to be I am going to stick to uploading one video a day, even if it's not a daily thoughts series video. But yeah, I am going to keep doing this. I really, really hope that I'm not just saying that and I actually do it. Bye, guys.